dias, children. Welcome to Watch, where I get Tanner be very afraid. So right now we're about a minute and a half before treaty drop. So doing a quick Civ check-in. So we got Austin as the Spanish and economy. He's got decent trade, a lot of stone miners, a lot of people on wood. So it's looking like he might be going siege heavy here. Probably spent a lot of his stuff to get going. Let's see. And so he's the Spanish. Taylor's the Lithuanians. Ton of farmers. Not quite up on trade yet. And then it looks like he's got a lot of castles to build still. So being able to send in those lechies that cancel armor, which will be great against some of our troops over on our side. And then you got Tanner as the Teutons. He's got the best trade on his side so far. And decent food, decent wood, all around balance Civ going on there. And then of course we've got Alex as the Mayans. Just kidding. He's need to up that food game, Alex. Those are chump numbers right there. Got to bust those farmers up. So that's that team. And then over on our side, we've got Ethan, and he's got great all-around Civ going on right now. Great all-around economy. Needs to work on some more trade carts though, but doing pretty good at that time. And so he's the Teutons. I am the Goths. I'm feeling pretty comfortable right there. I do need a few more trade carts, and then as the Goths, I mean, from what I've seen, you gotta be rolling like 100 farmers in order to really be effective. And then we've got Chase here as the Spanish. Still needs to work on getting his economy up, but he's got plenty of houses, so he's got plenty of room to do so. And then the man, the myth, the legend himself, Larry Hunt. Look at that econ. Holy moly. Larry was cooking. So on this map, it was Team Black Forest, but the one where you only really have one or two entrances. And in our case, we just had one. So Tanner is all built up. He's still building over here. If I remember right, they're going to wall right along there. Maybe a little bit further back. Austin's actually looking pretty good. Taylor's looking pretty good. I haven't seen Alex yet, but I imagine he's going to start building here pretty soon. And then on our side, I'm good to go. I've got a castle. I've got all these archery ranges. Chase is building up pretty good. Ethan's here. Larry is a monster, and he's good to go. So we've got everyone here. It's just all going to be about troops building and all that. So this is from Larry's point of view to start off with. And I'll go fast just so we get there. But you see, I'm creating, I mean, that's my fatal flaws. I never build onagers to cut through right when I'm ready. I really need to, I should have made these siege workshops, but I was worried about all their infantry. So me and Larry, treaty is dropped. I'm going to slow it down a little bit. We are ready to go. Oh, I forgot to look at trade. So our trade went from here, and then we actually had two trades. Mine was the safer one, but a little bit shorter. And then Ethan, he was a little bit longer, but a little bit more precarious. And then I see that you guys have got trade here all the way to, where was it? Here. So that's a pretty decent trade route. I think you guys had the better one. All right, so Larry and his, yeah. So right at the beginning, I was like, okay, Larry, we need to focus these castles. Me and Larry had a bit of a snafu where I didn't hear him going in. So you can kind of tell I'm just hanging out. So that's going to change here in a second. But Tanner was ready to respond. Austin's ready to go. Oh, okay, so Alex in that minute and a half got all those barracks up. Good for him. And then Taylor built a combination of archery ranges, I imagine for hand cannoneers, and then he had his cavalry as well. So now I've realized that we're in. There goes Tanner's first castle. That was a point of contention for the game, was that me and Larry, we just had a really good strategy of, well, these Teutonic Knights are going to be indestructible. So what we got to do is just destroy the means of production, really. So there goes Chase's first plunge. He's going in. He's going to try and look for a way to get straight back in. He's going, he's going, he's going. Yeah, so Chase gets in. But if I remember right, at the same time, if I'm remembering right, that if I remember, Austin and Taylor get through and they push into us as well. Was that it over there? Oh, I've got some idle villagers. We're watching Larry's screen. He's pop capped like immediately. There's our wall of trebuchet, Tanner's second castle. We're focusing on Austin's castle, which isn't as big of a deal as the Spanish, unless you're building. Want to remove that though. So you can see Larry's short on food, but if he wants to, he can basically build his however much siege that he wants to. And let's see who else is here. Let's look at Tanner. He's really flexing as well. Let's see what his economy is looking like. I keep hovering between them. There we go. Tanner has plenty of wood. His food and gold are running a little low, which is to be expected because he's building these champions. And Teutonic Knights. Here comes another castle going up. And now Ethan is joining the fray. And I feel like when Ethan gets here, that just helps us. I got some idle troops going on. That's the hard part with the Goths. They're created so quickly that if you don't have a drop point for them, they just kind of hang out. Okay, so you'll notice that I saw another castle, so I send my Huscarls with their anti-infantry, and Ethan's here too. And that's what we're focusing on, is keep Tanner's castles down. If he gets those Teutonic Knights out in numbers, it's just going to completely hard counter me and Larry. I was expecting to see more Lechies from Taylor, but he really kind of went a few different troops. I saw Paladins, Hussars, I saw Skirmishers. Okay, so here comes Taylor's first plunge. And it's going to be a good one. You can see that Chase kind of went past him. I believe I tried to turn I turned my halberdiers when he did this plunge. And we have not walled off at all, which is, once again, something that team per Steven Skoik does well. Chase, oh man, these bombard cannons are going to come in clutch. Not in this moment, but here's Taylor's. Ooh, he stopped to kill the bombard cannons, which is a bummer. I was going to say those bombard cannons are going to come in clutch against those castles of Tanner's. Oh, and now here comes Austin's first plunge, and as you can see, I've got halberdiers chasing, and this plunge gets repelled pretty quickly because Chase has got paladins ready to go. But I know you guys have another plunge that comes later. Oh, I remember this part too. So Tanner got to this castle. Everyone's flexing on us right now. Austin's in good force. Tanner's in good force. Alex is here. Taylor's here. When I saw all this, I thought we were screwed. If you notice, this is all purple, yellow, and light blue, and red too. Like, we are not flexing here. And Tanner's running low on gold though. So let me take a look real quick at where I'm at. Nope, that was Austin. Okay, I'm pop capped. Ethan's here to save our bacon. Larry's flexing back as well. It looks like there's another plunge happening, and as you can see, I'm about to wall off. I'm sick of these plunges. Even though I'm only the Goths, I can at least put up some sort of barrier. So I'm going to do that. And then Ethan, like a boss, he's just really good at getting castles and walls up. He's really good on the defensive. So if I remember right, this plunge, yeah, this market, which cripples Ethan, but it does nothing to me because I'm down here and Chase is protecting my markets. Okay, so Here's Alex trying to build a castle. Tanner got another castle up. I remember seeing these trebuchets going for Larry's, and Ethan, like a boss, brings bombard cannons over to try and defend. Larry's starting to build siege to take care of the masses. I'm serving as a meat shield. Like I said, 68 farmers, and I still don't have nearly enough food. I believe by the end of the game I get up to around 100, 110 or so. So as a quick check, we're going to have about 4 minutes left of the... You guys are probably just hearing nothing but grunting from the game. Just grunts. Everyone's dying. Taylor's still back here, but Ethan has defended. He's going to put a castle up, and I believe that's the last of his troops. And if we check, Ethan's got a ton of idle villagers. And at this point, I believe my wall is done. Yep, so I am walled off. You guys... Oh, nope, the wall's still going. And then I'm going to build a wall that cuts off this part as well. So there will be no more diving from these guys. Austin might get through here once again, but I'm pretty sure we repulse him. So Ethan's here in force. There's my trebuchets going for Tanner's castle as always. That was the strategy. Take out those castles. I noticed Alex put a castle up there, so we focused on that one as well. I've really been kind of the theory that you want to be anti-building to a point. Like, obviously you want to kill their troops as well. But I feel like if you can cut off the means of production, that's generally more productive than just purely, I don't know. Do you go for buildings and cut off production, but let troops stay alive? Or do you kill troops, but then let production keep going? I guess it's a balance. So I'm targeting, there goes another castle. I'm targeting Alex's buildings. Me and Larry are both getting trebuchets. Ethan's castles. You know, there's one. He's got another one down here, I believe. Ethan's castles are being untouched, so he's able to kind of get these Teutonic Knights up in force, whereas anytime Tanner builds a castle, we recognize it, and we're going to go for it. Actually, I know Chase did really good destroying them as well. I'm just curious how long that one's going to last. There's Ethan coming over with his bombard cannons, and I believe they're going to be able to reach him. Alex is still doing great. I know we've been hovering on my economy for a while now, so let's go ahead and go down to Alex. Alex has got a bunch. You guys must have been feeding him. You got him up, and I'm not sure if Chase got to him right away, which might explain why his farmers are so low. But so we're both gothing it, and he's got 33 farmers, and I am up to 78. And I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep going up. So that was one of the times where we let Tanner's castle actually be there. And you could see that we let it go for a while. This is just a brawl. This is a brawl. Something that doesn't look like I've quite gotten to yet, but I noticed that Taylor and Alex had this alcove going on, and I was like, you know what? We can't let that happen. We can Alex be able to cook. So here in the near future, I'm going to tell them, hey, oh yeah, there goes another castle. All right, let's watch this. Who was it? It was me. It was me and Ethan. And then right when we get that one, of course, Tanner gets another one. Like you said, built 9 castles, but I've got 3 trebuchets right there, and I immediately turn on them. So I'm going to pause the recording here, and then we will continue with part 2.